My new mustache. Oh, let me try seeing how things look like on the phone. But I open up the channel, it says I'm live. Alright, so on my mobile phone it says that I'm live. How do things look? I'm always kind of worried about. I'm always end up being kind of anal about color accuracy and all that stuff. Although it looks pretty good. Kill. Alright, and there's a piece of food on my table. Good. Good, good, good. Planetary, welcome to the stream. That thumbnail's so menacing. Yeah, it's funny because throughout the day today, I was like, what thumbnail can I use if I decide to do a live stream tonight? And I couldn't think of anything. And then as I'm opening YouTube Home, who gets recommended into my feed, even though I don't even know if he's live, but the one and only Moist Critical. And I noticed that Moist Critical is a big proponent of just doing stupid looking thumbnails where it's just him looking at the camera like, because he can get away with it. So I figured, you know what, I'll do it. Welcome to the stream. Crazy. I'm hoping that thumbnail gets quite a few people, even though we're way past Halloween. DTS Dimensions Theater Studio, always good to see an upload. Well, joke's on you, DTS Dimensions Theater upload. You gotta shorten your name, man. No, I'm kidding. But this is not an upload. This is live from the West Coast, Best Coast. So as the title says, Home Alone, basically one of the rare instances where I am home by myself without the parents, because I do live with my parents because it's Southern California, which means that rent anywhere, even in the fucking boonies, it's terrible, and so it's difficult to be alone, or it's difficult to move out, let alone move out with in a very nice place. So I do live with the parents until the financial situations. Probably should have said notification. Oh, okay. Yes, I always like to do these. I always like to ask this. If any of you got notifications, let me know. That way I know that everything's looking good. Of course, it depends on the person, because I know some people have notifications turned on and others don't. I mean, some do and others don't. Yeah, but how are you guys doing on this Tuesday evening? It's almost 8:30 here where I'm at. Just thought, like I said, I'll do a live stream. It was a little impromptu. I had a notion that the parents were going to be gone, and I was going to be home by myself. So I figured, all right, home by myself. If I was single, that would have meant something different. But I'm, but I'm not. DM, welcome to the stream. So I figured, you know what? Let me do an impromptu stream. I haven't done one of these in a while. Plus, there's some things that I could talk about that can be kind of like off the cuff kind of things. And also I can multitask a little bit, because I can do both a live stream and content creation, so to speak, because technically this is still a piece of content. And on the side here, I want to get some writing done. So I figured, you know what, let's kill two birds with one stone. I can write some scripts here for a couple of shorts that I'm planning on doing, and talk to you guys. So how are you guys doing? How are you? Oh, this is actually it's funny because, I have this bad habit of seeing something that I genuinely want to express thoughts on. Oh, look at, wow. I was just kidding. He is live. I go on YouTube Home and fucking Moist Critical is live. That's cool. I was talking about, like with the thumbnail. That's hilarious. But holy shit, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Somebody to remind me. Oh, I remember now. That basically I have this bad problem where I want to say something, there's something that I genuinely want to talk about, and I say it in my head. Like, I say the things in my head. I actually articulate what I want to say in my head, and I never either tweet it out, I never do a YouTube short, I don't do, and it just passes by, and the news just goes so quickly that that it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, and then before you know it, we're on to other news. So yeah. Little moments like this also make me think that, you know what would come in real handy right now? That, I don't know if you guys have heard, the Elgato prompter. Elgato, who makes the capture cards and the peripherals, the mics, the the arms, all that stuff, they're making a teleprompter. I don't know if some of you have seen it. They're making a goddamn teleprompter. And it's actually kind of sick. I actually kind of want it. And it's funny because it's actually up for wait, is this still up pre-order? Did it sell out? Elgato prompter. Also, bask in the sounds of my clicky keyboard. It looks like it is. You can still pre-order. Or, wait, is it pre-order or is it out? Because it says add to cart. It doesn't say pre-order anymore. It used to say pre-order. So is it out? I think it's officially out only through their store. If you want to wait until Best Buy gets it or Amazon gets it, you're going to have to wait. Oh, there's the catch. There it is. The thumbnail looked like Weird Al. Did it? Hold on. Maybe it's the mustache. I'm trying something new where I shaved, or I should say trimmed, the bottom part right here to where it's like a measly little stubble, but I'm leaving the longer mustache to try to grow it out into a full-blown mustache. Going for that Oompaville look. Not really, but I'm just experimenting to see what I can do to make myself seem a little older. The thumbnail is traumatizing. Holy shit, I just realized that. But okay, I've figured out the catch. The prompter is on back order. Because if you add it to cart and then you try to check out through the little process here, to the little cart, it says this item is currently on back order, but is expected to ship December 16th through the 19th. Wonderful. Whole month and a half away. Like I said, I don't need it. It would be nice, because then, any chat I could, read it off of here, where you guys are at. But like I said, it's not mandatory. It's not like I have a bustling chat. I can afford to go back and forth. Okay. But yeah, DM, welcome to the stream, Abraham. The Batman skin is getting released on Arkham Knight. Bro, have you seen the Madoking model kit Batman? Oh, that's different. Okay, so to answer the first question. Skin, well, it's not really, it's more of a statement. The Batman skin, I did see that. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. That I wanted to do some form of tweet or something like that. So, people are saying, oh my god, it looks cool, it looks awesome. Hot take? The costume obviously looks cool, the Batman's suit. It's a very fresh take on the Batman. I've always liked that suit. By default, by technical default, the skin doesn't look all that great, in my opinion. I know it's a very subjective take, but there's something kind of wonky about it, and it's pretty obvious. because similar to it's not as bad in my opinion, but you do see this happening just a smidge with some of the other skins on Arkham Knight, specifically the Bale Batman, because they do this thing where they try to map the suit or the skin to the skeleton build of that really chunky, that really beefy Batman that's in the Arkham games, the Rocksteady Bruce Wayne, which is anatomically impossible. I know that the description of that Batman is saying that he trained to be at peak physical and mental capacity. And I'm like, yeah, it's peak because it's physically impossible. That his proportions are way out of bounds for a human male to be. Or, without tipping things in a certain scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone in real life could probably achieve that same upper body look, but then the legs are going to look a little different. Or vice versa. Or maybe the biceps going to be a little bit... Because everybody's body's built differently. The Batman or slash Bruce Wayne model, a physical model, that physical body in the Arkham games is so, like, perfect, a perfect, what's the word I'm looking for? A perfect embodiment. It's a perfect specimen if you think about it. So whenever certain skins that weren't designed specifically for that body, i.e. pretty much all of the Arkham suits throughout the game, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, and to an extent, the bastard child that is Arkham Origins that they don't like to talk about, whenever they try to add a suit that is meant for a different physical body and apply it to that Batman, it looks crazy. And sometimes it looks crazy fun, and sometimes it looks just a little off. And I feel like the Batman... Is my stream really that out of sync? Huh. Doesn't say I'm dropping frames. Alright. I feel like the Batman is one of those cases because that suit, we're so used to seeing it on Robert Pattinson, who's a lankier character, a lankier Bruce Wayne, that when they tried to map it to the Arkham Knight Batman, there's areas around the shoulder where it just looks stretched, and I'm like, I like the look of the suit, but I think on him, and like Christopher Flores mentioned, the cape is a little wonky. Yeah, some things look a little weird. By the way, welcome to the stream, Christopher Flores. Sup, is this your first live, or did I miss some? No, not really. I mean, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I did one to celebrate 10,000, but that was like in August, so it's been almost... Holy shit, that was in August. That was in August. I have not done one since August. So if that makes you feel any better, yeah, you have not missed anything, Christopher Flores. So you're good. But okay, so Abraham, what you said here, Moto King Model Kit Batman. What is that? I don't know what that is. But yeah, I did one stream in ooh. Is this what this is? But I did one in August to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, and then before that, I did one. See if I can bring it up on YouTube Studio. Hopefully I can pull it up without ruining the stream. No, don't do that. About to switch accounts. Okay, so prior to that live stream that I did literally on my birthday to celebrate 10,000 subscribers and my birthday, August 13th, earlier that day, that the last stream was February 5th. 5th? Did I just say 5th? 5th. To talk about the new McFarlane Dark Knight trilogy figures, James Gunn's direction, the Suicide Squad leak, which then prompted them to delay the game. Did you guys remember that was even coming out? And a couple of other things. So yeah, prior to the August so I'm poised to stream every like 3 to 6 months. Nah, I mean, trust me, that's never really the intention of what I want to do. I would love to stream more, but as I mentioned at the top of this stream, I live with my parents. Um, it's also another reason for why filming videos in general is also ever so often. It's funny because it's an arduous task to do in this specific, by how I live and where I live. If I lived somewhere differently, trust me, the the whole operation, the rhythm of things would just be so much smoother and so amazing. I would love every single bit of it. Um, which is why I would really love to just move in with the girlfriend. So that way I can live stream like every 2 to 3 days or every weekend maybe, if I at least once a week. And then I can film videos whenever the fuck I want. Instead of having to wait on the weekends. Because right now, I'll let you guys in on a behind the scenes secret. Oh God. What was I gonna say? I'll let you guys in on a behind the scenes secret. Every video that I do, I film it on the weekends because on the weekends my both of my parents are home. My dad doesn't work. My dad is off from work. But around 3 to 4 o'clock, they go out to eat, and they like to eat earlier than I. So they go out to eat, and I'm at home by myself for like an hour, sometimes maybe even a little less, like 45 minutes. And that's my window of opportunity where the house is quiet, there's no noise, there's no interruptions. That's when I film. So my recent Hush Mold ranking video, my video, like any prior McFarlane videos prior to that, anything that has to do with Spider-Man 2, that was recorded then on the weekends. So I try to film on a weekend, and then as the week goes on, I film the B-roll, I edit it all together, I add effects, I add sound effects, I add graphics, all that stuff, so that hopefully by that following weekend, the video's ready to go up. That's pretty much the cycle. It looks weird with Bale, but it somehow works with Battinson, almost like that Batsu was meant to be in the game in a way. Maybe it's the chin that looks a little better. I think the Raimi suit in Spider-Man 2 should be updated. They did that thing like it's funny. They did the same thing that Marvel Legends did with their figures where those eye lenses look weird. I pulled it up in the game. And as much as I love the black suited Raimi suit, because it looks sick, it's like 95% awesome until you get to the head, and those lenses just look a little weird, a little separated, or a little too low on the face. I don't know if they were trying to, kind of similar to what I just talked about with the skins on Batman Arkham, where they're trying to map the masks to fit the mold of that character model that was different than what Toby had in film, and therefore there's this cognitive disconnection we have, so that when we see those lenses so separated and low, we look at the face and be like, something looks off. Somehow I feel like that's what's going on. That's what's happening. They're even making a superior Spider-Man. What do you mean by they, Abraham? Who's making a superior Spider-Man? That model kit is fire. I'm pretty sure it comes with a bat signal. Are you talking about the Madokan one? Because if you're talking about the Madokan one, I got some news for you. Hold on. Give me a second. God damn it. Hold on. This is the downside of not streaming too often is not. Here we go. Okay, here we go. How do I? Here we go. Are you talking about this? In the words of the gamer 2323, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, Chiefy Chief. Is it actually articulated? Okay, the Bruce. Well, no, never mind. I was gonna say the Bruce head is cool, but it's not, and I'll tell you why. It looks more like Val Kilmer. It doesn't look like Christian Bale to me. Maybe it's they needed to work on the lips a bit more. But it's this head. No. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Thankfully, it's not that pricey. $30.99. I'm genuinely surprised that it sold out. Huh. Interesting. Oh wow, this thing wasn't even fit to screen. There we go. It's okay if you guys think so. If you guys love it, it's fine. It's fine. If I'm spending $30, I'd rather spend it on a McFarlane, to be honest. Spidey Claus, welcome to stream. Have you platinumed Spider-Man 2? Okay, that's a good question. So when I beat Spider-Man 2 literally a week ago, because it was a Tuesday, and I wanted to for sure make sure that I beat it that Tuesday because that Wednesday I was gonna see my girlfriend throughout the day. That Wednesday, that Thursday, I just wanted a day to myself to edit. Oh no, okay. So here's how my timeline worked last week. That Tuesday, I beat Spider-Man 2. I recorded my reaction to the ending. I still have yet to decide what I'm actually gonna do. Are ads playing? I got a little. I don't know if this is a countdown. It says will. Oh God. Okay, so can you guys see me now? You know, I might actually turn that off because it said, we recommend this. But now I'm like, I don't want to be doing this all the time. But here's the thing, Christian Carpenter, welcome to the stream. I skipped that shit. That's okay. That's the beautiful thing about the ads on YouTube. You can skip them. This isn't fucking Twitch, where you're forced to watch that. Especially when, as much as I hate it when ads are playing. Yeah, I might turn that off. I don't know. Can I turn it off right now? I don't think I can because I've already went live. Ah. I can make it conservative. Actually, no. I'll do insert manually. All right, there we go. I turned it off. Focus on your live stream and let YouTube insert ads for you. And it's telling me to turn that on. Yeah, not for now. But yeah, honestly, here's the thing. Recently, Twitch has been announcing some things that are awesome, like the multicasting, a couple of other support features. The way that they're trying to integrate clips, which are still not perfect. I think there's still a lot of major caveats. With all that said and done, I think the next big W, the next big, like, holy shit, this is awesome, let people skip the ads. Now, I know that that's very difficult for them to flip the switch on because they're hemorrhaging for money, relatively speaking. But, yeah, that would probably be the next big thing because that's one of the things I love about YouTube is that, yeah, the stream might get interrupted by an ad, but you can skip it. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Just wait about 5 seconds, boom, hit the skip. So you kind of have a limit to what you film. Christopher Flores, yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I'll grab it right now in a second. But yeah, I have to pick and choose as far as like priority wise. What do I need to film first because I know it's very hot, very topical, versus the stuff that I would love to film, but I know that if I post it, it's not gonna do as well as that other video. And pick whichever one is, I should probably prioritize and film first when my parents are gone, because then I'm screwed if I don't prioritize the right thing or film the right thing. So yeah, that's always something. And like I said, until I move out, that's not gonna change because both of my parents are not necessarily the most supportive when it comes to this. Surprise, surprise, right? My mom is a bit more tolerant of it. She tolerates this kind of stuff as long as I'm not like doing drugs or doing anything like that. She's tolerable. My dad is a fucking dick. Yeah, I said it. My dad will legitimately go out of his way to impede on anything like this. If I show any kind of sign that I might be filming something, and I've caught him. I've caught him a handful of times. I've paid attention. I know what he's doing. He'll purposely make noise to interrupt what's going on in here. He'll do things that typically he's not that loud with, and he'll make them louder, like closing cabinet doors in the bathroom, closing the door here, the garage door that happens to be right next to my room here. He'll slam it instead of just closing it like he always does. I've caught him. He accidentally drops things in the bathroom, but he never drops it when I'm not filming anything. It's like, yeah, no. He just loves to do that. So, yeah, I don't exactly have like very conductive circumstances to what I want to do here. So I'm hoping that entering 2024, there will be a change of some kind. Hopefully, because I do have a full-time job right now, and I'm kind of banking money. I haven't really spent anything crazy, even though once I show you what I would want to get to working on, you'll probably disagree on. The webbing was too shiny on the Raimi suit as well. Yeah, that's true, because it's a little matted, right? I mean, it's 3D puff painting, but it's got a, it's not fully matted, but it's semi matted. Bland Boy, welcome to the stream. I played Spider-Man 2 as well on the PS2. Bland Boy, do you now have a PS5? They're becoming a lot more easier, and they're about to get even easier with the Slim. It looks like McFarlane Christian Bale. Christopher Flores, honestly, I don't see it. When it came to that model kit, and obviously we won't know about about a proper unmasked Christian Bale skin because a head because McFarlane never made one. That'd be nice. He looks like Jim Carrey and Val Kilmer, especially Quantum. Hold on. I'm gonna call you Surge. Quantum Surge. Is it okay if I call you Surge? Because I don't want to call you Quantum. Because if I call you Quantum, I'm gonna think of that fucking crazy ass. You know who I'm talking about. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. They're also doing a Batpot Tumblr fusion. No idea how that's gonna work. Who? The model kit people or McFarlane? Because McFarlane, that'd be sick. They always do vehicles, so I'm kind of surprised they haven't announced it. Maybe by the end of this year. Oh, but before I got derailed, I beat it. I beat Spider-Man 2, and by derailed, I don't mean by you guys. Obviously, I mean by myself because ever so often I think there's times where I feel like I have ADHD in terms of topics of discussion and speaking, and then there's times where I feel like I have Asperger's, where I don't know how to filter myself in front of other people, and I just say the thing that, even though it's true, it's not right to hear. For some reason. But I beat Spider-Man 2 on Tuesday, last Tuesday, a week from today, exactly a week ago today. Wednesday, all day, I saw my girlfriend, and I told myself, okay, since I just beat Spider-Man 2, I got that finale out of the way, let's take Wednesday as a break. Let's take Wednesday as a break. Don't play anything. Focus on editing during the day, and then around dinner time, go over to my girlfriend's and have dinner at her place, which I did. That was enjoyable. Thursday, I went into, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Culver City. Culver City is kind of like around the LA area, Los Angeles, Southern California area, because there's a studio there that I go in to film for my actual full-time job, because I do have a full-time job. Even though it's a contractor job, I technically do have a job that demands full-time hours, because then it gives full-time income. I thought my parents were home. I had to double check. That demands that gives in full-time income as long as I get put in the full-time hours. That does involve content creation, which is sick. I love this job. I generally love this job. I have not complained a single time about this job, to be quite honest. I can't really think of a complaint. So I'm trying to hold on to this job as much as possible and do my absolute best. And one of the things that I do is on Thursdays, even though it could be any other day of the week, but for some reason I just programmed into my brain to go in on every Thursday. Every Thursday I go in to film inside of the studio, and then for the remainder of the work week, Monday through Wednesday and then Friday, I edit whatever I filmed on that Thursday. So that Thursday, all day, I went into the studio to film, and this is going to be an all-day thing because I have to drive from here in my house to Culver City, which is about an hour and a half. Well, it would be an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, but of course, Southern California, we are officially overpopulated. I don't know how you guys feel, but we are officially overpopulated as a country, and most definitely California as a state, to the point where I really don't think COVID did enough. And we're officially saturated at the point, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that there's no such thing as waiting out traffic. You know how that old saying is like, oh, wait for traffic to die down, wait for traffic to get better. There's no such thing anymore. There really isn't. I could leave that studio at like 8 o'clock at night, and some dumbass will still get into a car accident for reasons unknown, and that trip home is still at the 2 to 2.5, maybe even 3 hour mark. It doesn't fucking matter what I do. It doesn't matter what detours I take, how long I try to wait it off by going someplace to kill time, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So at this point, I've accepted that it's a pretty much a full day thing. If I'm going into the studio, I wake up an hour earlier than I usually do. I eat breakfast, casually, calmly, take my time. But then I immediately get dressed, grab my things, grab my gear, and head out. So it takes me about 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours to get there. It takes me about 2.5 to 3 hours to get home because everyone's trying to get off at the same exact time. Even with me waiting it out an extra hour, working inside the studio for about 4.5 hours, and then that's it. So it's almost like a 12-hour day. So that's what happens on Thursdays. So then we get to Friday, and you would think that I would get back to Spider-Man 2 to try to platinum it. But then we get into something that happened this past Friday, November 3rd to November 4th. So me and my girlfriend actually have been planning a trip, and I actually might show you guys here some photos. If I can find them. I can't find them. I'll probably post this as a community post. Okay, cool. Okay. I'll probably put this as a community post either tomorrow or the day after. But this past weekend, me and the girlfriend actually had a trip to San Diego planned that would start on that Friday. So this meant that I wasn't going to be able to play Spider-Man 2 Wednesday because I was going to see my girlfriend regardless. I wasn't going to play Thursday because I had to go into work that 12-hour day that I just talked about. And then I wasn't going to play for sure Friday and Saturday because I was going to spend those 2 days in San Diego with my girlfriend for a trip that we have been planning for about 2, or I think maybe now 3 months, because I think we booked the tickets in August. And I'll tell you guys what we booked the tickets for right now. But we've been planning this trip for like 3-ish or so months. So, and by the time I get home Saturday night, it's going to be almost like 1 in the morning after like a 3-hour trip back from San Diego. I wasn't going to be in the mindset to want to play Spider-Man 2. So we get to Sunday a couple days ago, and I thought to myself, I don't feel like platinuming Spider-Man 2 right now. And by right now, I'm not just talking about Sunday, I mean just in general. Unlike the first game, I'm not in a rush to platinum it. I definitely want to do it before the end of the year. For sure, because I know if I don't get it done before the end of the year, there's already going to be too many games that I'm going to want to play that it's going to get pushed off to the side. And I'm scared of that happening. So for sure, I want it to happen by the end of the year. But in terms of jumping into it directly, I just don't have the strong pull to want to do that. And what helped me kind of make that decision as well was knowing that there's no New Game Plus. There's no New Game Plus. They haven't added it yet. There's a really strong chance they're going to add it later on with some kind of patch. I believe the first game also didn't have it on release. They had to add it later. But I gotta be honest, I don't get why it's not there from day one. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but I just don't get why it's not there. Am I nuts? Hold on. Christian Carpenter. I don't know if I welcomed you to the stream, but welcome. Also, if anyone needs music for a YouTube video or project, I'm down to write something. I'm looking for practice or writing music for video and film. Cool. Are you going to school for that right now, Christian? Spidey Claus, I managed to anchor myself back to the main topic at hand, which was Spider-Man 2. Javier, welcome to the stream. How many action figures you have? Define action figures. Are we talking about a certain wave, a certain character? Because in general, I'm not going to be able to answer that right now. Christian Carpenter, is McFarlane one of those action figure brands like Hot Toys? It's a action figure brand, but it's not on the same league as Hot Toys. Okay, McFarlane and Marvel Legends is like getting a Camry. It's like getting a what's another very very typical but still reliable and easy to get car. What's a good car brand that it's like, oh yeah, it's one of the, I guess the car that I drive, a Kia Rio, or almost any Kia for that matter that just uses regular gas. It's like getting, yeah, all that. So you have Marvel Legends and McFarlane, and I guess if you want to toss in anything from Mattel, anything from Spin Master in there, they're kind of down here. Then in the middle you have Mafex, Figuarts, maybe Good Smile, I think that's what they're called. Maybe Yogai Tamaguchi, I think it's called, or Play Arts Kai, somewhere in there where they're about the same size, 6-inch, 7-inch, but you are going to be paying a good like 100 to 120, maybe even $140, depending on the rarity of the figure, the accessories the figure comes with, the detail. Sometimes they're as cheap as just $70-$80, and then other times they're about 140 to 150. Then you get the Teslas of the action figure industry. You get the Mustangs. You get the Ferraris, which are going to be Hot Toys. And I guess now, since they're competing in a way that is actually pretty interesting to watch, as far as seeing these two brands go at it to see who does better. InArt, Hot Toys. I don't know who else is doing 1/6 scale. I heard J&D might be doing some 1/6 scale stuff in the future, so they might be a viable competitor, tossing their hat in the ring. That would be pretty cool. But they're the Ferraris of the industry. In the middle, you have the Mustangs and the Dodges and all that stuff, which is Mafex, Figuarts. And then at the bottom, you're going to have all your Camrys, which are Marvel Legends, McFarlane, all that stuff. That's the best way that I can bring it all down. Chicken. I was confused about New Game Plus 2 because Miles had it at launch. It did, right? You know what? It was also at launch? I'm sorry, but this is one of my legit criticisms, and I might address it in the essay. I still haven't started writing the essay, even though I do have bullet points and themes that I want to latch onto, that I want to hold on to as bullet points for the essay. But I haven't actually properly started writing it. I'm not in a... I want to marinate on it a little bit longer, but I'm almost there. I'm like 85 to 90% ready to start writing my video essay on Spider-Man 2. But one of the criticisms that I'm like, what the hell, man? Can you not change the time of day in this game? I looked everywhere and you can't change the time. And I heard that there's a hack where you have to like jump into one of the Mysteriums, but you have to like exit it out via the pause menu a certain way or something like that. I mean, sure, but we shouldn't have to do that. I think that's crazy. I'm waiting to replay the game when New Game Plus gets released. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's why I don't want to jump into it right now, because if I'm gonna platinum it, and if I'm gonna have to look it up because I think it's one of the hidden trophies, but something tells me that one of the hidden trophies to platinum it is to beat it on ultimate difficulty, which doesn't get unlocked until you beat the game, which I beat it on spectacular, which is technically hard. The hard difficulty, it's higher than the standard, which is amazing, I believe. So I played it on spectacular, and I was looking for ultimate. Couldn't find ultimate, but finally upon beating spectacular, you get ultimate. But something tells me that one of the trophies to platinum the game is to beat the game on ultimate. And if I'm gonna do that, then I might as well do New Game Plus so I can keep all that shit and try to expedite my experience in doing so. Make things a little quicker and easier on me, having all my gadgets from the get-go instead of getting my ass handed to me. I would rather have it that way. So yeah, all those things combined, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna hold off on replaying Spider-Man 2 or trying to platinum it. Even though I know that technically I could always go back and try to do some of the busy work because I still have Marco crystals left to do. Uh, uh, I think like one or two Mysteriums left, one or two photo ops, and then a couple of things here and there that I don't want to talk about too much because I don't know how many spoilers we can get into it here on the stream because I don't want to risk spoiling anything for anybody. But yeah, I'm gonna put Spider-Man 2 on the back burner for now, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I know some of you are gonna hear me say this and be like, "What? What's wrong with you?" But you know what I want to jump back into after playing about 18 hours of it and then dropping it for Spider-Man 2 because I couldn't beat it in time for Spider-Man 2. Starfield. I actually still have Starfield to beat. I'm halfway through it. So I sincerely want to get back into that and play that. Move the mic, camera a little bit. Ew, that brightness. There we go. But yeah, Starfield. I'm 18 hours in. I'm halfway through, so I'm like, you know what? Let's get back to the Starfield and try to finish it up. I can honestly tell you Starfield is not going to be in my Game of the Year discussion. Not even... Not even top 5. Not even top 5. No. But I do... It's funny. I like the game, but it's still not in my top. I can honestly tell you right now, unless they pull a Hail Mary at the end where shit goes crazy or something like that, I just don't see it being top 5 material. I really don't. But yeah, I want to get... Hold on. Let me open up my Google Keeps here. I'll pull it on the screen here because it'll look much more legitimate and awesome. And you can hear more of the clickiness of my brand new keyboard. Hold on, let me show this keyboard off. I want to show this keyboard off, guys. Look at this keyboard. This keyboard was a gift from the girlfriend. I actually might disconnect it only because... Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so I won't be able to type right now. That's okay. So, late birthday present from the girlfriend. This is the keyboard. It is the... Some of you may have seen this. It is the 8-bit Do, or Do, 8-bit Do, retro keyboard. Modeled after the original NES. Yes. Like, I genuinely do really like this color scheme, and you can probably guess why. Because it's my color scheme. It's got that gray, red, and black. Although it's got this light whitish gray because it's obviously modeling itself after the original NES. So yeah, it's got obviously the aesthetic to make it look like the original NES here at the top where it says 8-bit Do retro keyboard, a little power indicator, caps lock indicator, screen lock, right about right there. All your traditional keys. Interesting that the ABs are posted right here. That's kind of funky. The only downside that I knew going in because I saw some of the promo photos is no number lock or number pad. But oh well, I don't really use it that much, anyways. But yeah, I love this thing, and I think to me the most important thing is I don't know if you can hear it right here. Mechanical switching. So satisfying. So annoying for my parents when I'm typing in the middle of the night. But it's just so satisfying to feel this, that at some point I do maybe, especially with the new computer that I got, this new PC rig that I got, I'll get back into PC gaming. Or not get back, but get into PC gaming. This is actually a perfect segue into my backlog. But yeah, this will definitely feel pretty good when playing some of those PC games. That'll be awesome. This should have been the thumbnail. Okay. Let's plug this back in. Where the hell is my play? Okay, here we go. Does it work? Yes, it does. Okay. Did anyone here get the cube glitch? Bland Boy, I saw some people, you know, like when they leap off, they're doing that, the Rubik's Cube. I never got that. I feel bad. Even Arkham Origins had New Game Plus from the start, and that game was buggy as shit on launch. Outside of comic book superhero video games, there's just a number of games I know I've played, and as soon as I beat it, the game says you can now do New Game Plus. I think Horizon was one of them. I think Last of Us Part 2 was one of them. Both of the new God of War games. And a handful of other third-party stuff I beat, and then the game tells me New Game Plus, and I'm like, why? I really don't want to say it, but the fact that there's no New Game Plus, and as some of you have said, there were a lot of bugs in the game. I did come across a lot of bugs, nothing game breaking, obviously, nothing drastic, but I felt like there was a little bit of unpolishedness here that I just didn't feel with the 2018 original, which is crazy. Which is crazy and ironic because ever so often there would be a moment that would blow me away from a technical standpoint. Till now, throughout my entire playthrough, I would always be floored and amazed by the fast travel. You know, it just goes like that, and it just locks to a street. It zooms in, and then boom, there's Miles or Peter swinging in that street. I'm like, holy shit, that is amazing. But I guess the cost of that was no New Game Plus, and if you do performance mode, the description of the performance mode says that there is ray tracing, but I never really saw anything that stood out to me as like, yo, that's the ray tracing. I never saw anything like that. I don't know. Just letting you know that there isn't a trophy, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So Ultimate is not... Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That actually kind of makes me want to just keep on playing. Like, I don't know. And like I said, I'm trying to get through my backlog. Uh-oh. Hot Toys. Just announced Merrick from Ahsoka. I mean, that's cool and all, but where's my Advanced Suit 2.0? Do you think Spider-Man 2's story was trying to do too much? Perhaps? Because I'm going to try to keep it vague, just in case, even though the game's been out now for a while, and a lot of social media is trying everything in their goddamn power to spoil this. But I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm not going to spoil anything. No spoilers in case you have not played Spider-Man 2. Not going to go into spoilers. But there are some elements in the story that I think could have, as the kids like to say, cooked more. There were some elements that did feel a little rushed. Which is ironic because this is a video game. You know, you would think that a video game would take its time with set elements. And one of them is the, and this is in the trailer, you know that this is happening. Peter getting the suit. And then the suit having an influence on Peter. I feel like the influence that the suit had on Peter was a little rushed. It was a little too sudden. Because, like I said, no spoilers, keeping things vague. But let's just say that there's a mission where he has the suit, he's acting like normal Spidey, and then the next mission, he's already starting to antagonize certain characters. And I'm like, where did this come from? Like, there was no gradual progression to getting to that point. Like, I would go as far as to say that some of the cartoons handle that progression with a little bit more finesse than this game did. And between all the cartoons, I would say probably my favorite would have to be Spectacular Spider-Man from 2008. That symbiote arc is awesome. And when I say symbiote arc, I mean both Peter having the suit and then Venom coming into the picture. Which is funny because if you want to look at it from a certain point of view, Spectacular Spider-Man also had a fresh take on Venom, if you think about it. Because they did something with Eddie Brock that, up until that point, I don't think I've really seen too much. And I'm like, I kind of wish that they would do this again. But they haven't. I haven't seen anybody do Eddie Brock that way. But yeah, that would be another criticism that I might mention in the essay later when I start to write it. Is that there are elements here and there that do feel a little rushed on the Spider-Man 2 story. And then there's other elements that are badass, and I'm like, yo, they went there. You know what I'm talking about? That are handled with care. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, the story. What is objectively amazing and far better than Miles and far better than the first game is the gameplay. That's what I'll say, is that the game, we cannot go back to 2018 gameplay. We can't go back to Miles Morales standalone gameplay. It's now with Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2's gameplay is chef's kiss. If people kept comparing 2018 and Miles to Arkham with the style of like counter and then hit, I will go as far as to say that Spider-Man 2's gameplay is that to Devil May Cry. Now, I'm not going to say it's as good or better than Devil May Cry because those are completely different beasts. But I'm just saying in terms of the comparison, how people were comparing the first game to Arkham, I'm going to compare. I would say that comparison, that likelihood or likeness, that resemblance, like I said, I'm not saying it's exactly the same or better because, there's different developers, there's different people at hand. But I would just say in terms of approach, in terms of what it reminds me of, 2018 reminded me of Arkham's gameplay. Spider-Man 2 is reminding me an awful lot of Devil May Cry gameplay, where it's doing an awful lot of like that, and I'm going into the air to do this, and stringing that air combo to this ground combo that then propels it into this air combo, and I'm just thinking about much more stuff that is mapped across the bumpers and the triggers in ways that I'm like, I wasn't thinking about this shit in the first game. I wasn't. And that was extraordinary. It was so satisfying. So, yeah. Speaking of suits, that Miles suit at the end. That shit ass, bro. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, that's another thing that I need to start looking into is how I'm going to approach my reactions, because I recorded my reaction to the entire campaign. For those of you, I should probably do a poll. I haven't really done a proper poll. I posted a picture, but I didn't really like. And I asked the question inside of the caption. But I feel like I need to do a proper poll and ask people like, how should I approach my reactions that are recorded? Because I really want that footage to be utilized somehow. So how should I do it? Should it be little bite-sized 30 to 45-second bits of some of the best moments, uploaded separately? Should it be a compilation? Should it be each individual session uploaded in like 2.5 to 3 hour chunks? Or should it be like 30-minute compilation videos of each session, but it's the best moments where I have like the most, you know, the bigger reactions, the much more noticeable reactions of that story. World's biggest geek, welcome to stream. Hello there. Hello there. I have to do it. If they did a Spider-Man 3, which other Spider-Man villain should make an appearance in the game besides the Green Goblin? I mean, some of them have been already foreshadowed here. It's difficult to talk about, but let's just say that some of them have already been hinted at here in Spider-Man 2. Even though there's a chance that one or two of them might not be full-blown villains in the next game. They might be DLC. But I feel like they can have an equal chance as well being either DLC or main villains for Spider-Man 3. So they're already kind of spoken for. So if I was to think of a villain that has not shown, because almost everybody has shown up. And without, like I said, without spoilers, let's just say that there's some villains that for sure are not showing up in Spider-Man 3. And Spider-Man 2 made sense of that. Made it clear of that. Start with a throwback bird crapping on the window. Bird crapping on a window. Blamboy, what are you talking about? I'm trying to think of what's that a reference to? Bird crapping out a window. I'm trying to remember what was that? I really can't think of that. I even saw Slim Jim on Instagram roast a new suit. Christopher, I have no idea who Slim Jim is. But when you say Slim Jim, like the brand Slim Jim? I thought you were talking about like a content creator, but are you talking about like jerky Slim Jim? Reference to the old GameCube video of Spider-Man 2 you did? How long ago was that? I legit do not know how long that was. $5 years ago? Is that the one you're talking about? On my other channel? On my original Dark Spider David channel where I'm wearing the giant jacket and I'm dancing to the Italian song at the beginning? Yeah, I gotta redo that one. I actually did pretty well. GameCube Classics. But that was the original channel where I was trying to do too much. I definitely see that's another perfect game that I would love to do an actual live stream on. I want to do something where I'm live streaming it, but simultaneously I want to be capturing the footage for an eventual retrospective essay on that game, Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in game from 2004. Yeah, the brand. For reals? Oh, I'm gonna look it up. I'm actually on Instagram right now. I don't see anything. Was it a story? I don't see a post. Yeah, I don't see anything. They were on a comment section roasting the suit. Well, for like a different YouTube video. The movie game from 2004 still holds up. ADM, the developers of Spider-Man 2018 said that Spider-Man 2's swinging was an inspiration. There's no reason for why that is. Is it just me, or do I like Black Cat and Peter more than Peter and MJ? I mean, that's subjective, to depending on who you ask. But I think the reason for why Black Cat exists in terms of like the comics and his relation to her relation to Spider-Man, is the fact that to me it's kind of an allegory, and you know whether it's good or bad is dependent on the person. It doesn't, you know, where you look like Martin Starr. I don't know who's Martin Starr. But yeah, I always felt like the whole, kinda. Huh. Oh, wasn't he the chaperone from the home? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Hey, he looks so weird with longer hair. It's nutty. Oh, he's also on Silicon Valley. I've yet to watch that show. I want to watch it. I just haven't had the time. That's what happens after like 2 or so hours of it's not even been 2 hours. It's only been an hour. Like, that's how you know it's been a while since I live streamed, because after a while I just can't talk. I I don't know how some people do it. Where after like an hour or so, I start to like feel like I don't have oxygen in my lungs or in my head. It's so weird. So I like after a while I just can't live stream. By the way, you get a sneak preview of how I film my videos, my toy videos at least, my action figure videos. Here's the light box. There's the camera, and there's the lights. There's usually a ring light right about right here, but I'm using it to illuminate me from that side as kind of like a filler mic. I mean, a filler light. And here's a fan in case things get hot, which it kind of is right now, actually. But yeah, I gotta get my streaming stamina a little higher up. It's a great show, high key, recommend. Yeah, it's on my list. Like, I definitely want to watch it. It's just time. Getting into time. But what I was gonna say is that Black Cat and Peter has always been an allegory for like, in my personal opinion, everyone could be different as far as how they can interpret this. But to me, when it comes to Peter and MJ, and then Peter and or Spider-Man and Black Cat, to me it's always been an allegory for like, do you want to fling around and just do nothing but just flinging around for the rest of your for lack of a better term, sexual life? or do you actually want to settle down and be with someone, not just sexually, but intimately and personally? That to me has always been the impression of what Mary Jane and Black Cat are supposed to be for Peter. That's how I took it. The game I used to play on PlayStation 2, Ultimate Alliance, I still have not played any of the Ultimate Alliance games. I know they have Spider-Man, and those would probably be some great games to play for like a live stream. Like once, that's the things, like there's so many games that I want to capture footage to do a retrospective on, but I don't want to just play the game and capture the footage. I want to live stream it and talk to you guys while I play. But I feel like to reoccurringly do that, again, I need to change this whole living setup to where I don't have my parents constantly bombarding me with questions or making noise that's just interrupting everything. I need to move out. Once I move out, I'm going to be streaming, like I said, once or twice a week. And I'll be doing those gameplay streams where I'll finally get to around doing a let's play, a complete playthrough live on stream of the 2002 Spider-Man game, the 2004 Spider-Man game, Ultimate Spider-Man on GameCube, Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time, and then on Batman, obviously the Arkham Trilogy on PC, 60 FPS. The Batman Begins game, Batman Vengeance, Rise of Zinsu, so many things. So many things. By the way, sneak preview of one of the shorts that I want to do here. Look at this little guy. You can actually see these two came in the mail a couple days ago. Injustice 2, Soups, and Brainiac. Now, they are McFarlane toys, but they're not Batman and they're not Batman-centric characters. So I thought about them and I'm like, you know what? I like them. I do want to talk about them, but let's do shorts. So these are going to be shorts going up on the channel in the next few days-ish. Kind of, sort of. I might even record one or the audio for the shorts tonight. Might, because I already feel the strain on my voice a little bit. That's actually one of the things I wanted to write here up in the Google Doc. Not gonna lie, she's always seemed like the rebound in case a Ryder breaks Pete and MJ up for drama. But that's just me. I mean, you're not wrong. Welcome to the stream. No. My Ditko Spidey figure just came in. No. Are you talking about the retro card one? The new one they just dropped with Moon Knight? What? Funny you should mention that, because I found it at Target earlier tonight when I went to go get my frozen dinner. When I went to go get my frozen dinner and a couple of breakfast items that I've been meaning to stock up on, I actually saw both the Moon Knight and the Spider-Man there. And I was tempted by the Moon Knight, but I'm like... But then I saw the card, that throwback card, and I was like, wait a minute. This is that goddamn reissue that Marvel Legends was trying to get us to double dip on. No, I will not support that. You can't have me. So yeah, I didn't do it. Superman looks solid. Okay, spoilers for the short, even though you can still always watch the short and support the channel that way. But, yeah, I like both of these figures a lot, actually. I was like, alright, like I said, the only reason why they're not getting full reviews is because they're not Batman. Because this is a Batman Spider-Man channel, and so I don't want to veer off too much off brand. I do feel like eventually there will be an area, or a time, I should say, where this channel will hopefully get to a place, reach-wise, following-wise, subscriber-wise, where I'm like, alright, I can finally make the pivot to where I can start talking about McFarlane toys, Hot Toys, Marvel Legends that aren't just Spider-Man and Batman in the fullest capacity, and those videos are still gonna do well. And potentially even go full-time. I can actually go full-time doing this, and this will be like my actual full-time job. But until that happens, figures like this, as much as I like them, they're gonna be shorts. I like that. Brainiac, welcome to the stream. Druv, the Collector, welcome to the stream. Can you do an Injustice 2 stop motion that would get a lot of views? It's just that time, the amount of time. I don't know. I'm not, opposed to wanting to do stop motions. I do like the concept of making stop motions. I used to make stop motions. That's how I got started on YouTube. It's just that time, it's doing stop motions back when you were 14, 15, 16 versus when you're 32. It's a different beast. It's most definitely a different beast. You have a different mindset, and you're in a place where you have voices in your head, and I'm not being literal, I'm not, if I really did hear vocal voices in my head, then I would obviously need to go see someone. But figuratively speaking, there's going to be voices in your head as an adult, as an over 30-year-old, that eventually one of those voices is going to tell you, what would be cool? A stop motion. We haven't done one of those in a while. I'm feeling the urge to want to make a stop motion. The creative juices are flowing. And then about a week or so into the production, you're going to hear a different voice. And that different voice is going to be like, all those hours, and there's absolutely no guarantee anyone's going to watch this because you don't make stop motions like that. Your channel's known for the figure reviews, for the toy reviews, and ever so often the shorts, and ever so often the video essays on the Spider-Man game stuff. Why are you doing this? You could be spending this amount of time on editing for your full-time job, your contract job that you have that requires the full-time hours, or you could be editing that next McFarlane toy review. And those voices start to get louder and louder, and then you're having panic attacks in the middle of the night. Yeah. So that happens. I'm sorry if that sounds like a downer, but sometimes that happens. So I'm not in a place yet to put stuff down and be like, yes, I'm going to do a stop motion. And that's all I'm working on for like the next couple weeks. It's not yet. Not yet. Lego Spidey, welcome to stream. I wish I got the Target Amazing Fantasy, but is it a Target exclusive? Shit, maybe I should have picked it up. No, that's another reason why I'm not even picking that thing up, is because it's just a repaint-ish of the original Amazing Fantasy that came in the windowless packaging. I already got that one, and frankly, I like the color scheme of that one better than this one, because this one looks almost about the same, only the spider on the back is like a light blue, which I know is much more comic accurate, but personally, I don't like it. So, yeah. Australia and our Target is different to America. Yeah, but Lego Spidey, there's some like Hot Toys figures and stuff that you guys, I think, get like a little earlier, or I think you guys get in-art stuff earlier. There is that. That'd be awesome. Jando. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Ayo, keep up with the good vids, my man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Give it till Superman Legacy, then the views come in. Yo, I wonder if McFarlane's going to be handling the Superman Legacy stuff. That'd be interesting. So, yeah, I got him. And I got Soups. Between the two, I think I like Soups better. Even though there is a bummer that's privy to just my unit. He has this, like, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if it'll focus. Oh, kinda. Oh, kinda, sorta. Ignore my ashy ass hands. I'm so sorry. Look how ashy those things are. They're about to crumble. But anyways, if you can see right there, the paint is a little misaligned on his headband, or his chin band, if you want to call it that, on his left side. It's a little misaligned. Not a fan. Oh, there you go. You can see it even better right there. Yeah. So that's a bummer. It's a shame because I really do like this soups, but the paint on his headband's a little scuffed. Other than that, the rest of the suit is actually pretty good. That and spoilers for the short, because I'm gonna say this in the short. I'm gonna write it into the script. No flight stand. What's with McFarlane not giving characters that fly flight stands? He's Sandman. Standard black base. Standard black circular base. No flight stand. It's Superman. And the flight bases have a little peg in case I want to stand him up anyway, and you could slide out the arm that way. I don't get it. Is it like a cost thing? I'm starting to suspect it's a cost thing. Don't cheap out now. I think the last figure that got a flight stand was in fact Supergirl from Flash, unless the new Supergirl that I think is the Target exclusive that's coming out now has it. If anybody can confirm on that. No, it's fine. I get you. I sadly don't have all the time in the world as well. Yeah. Yeah. Time is. If only there was another pandemic. I'm kidding. Well, not really. Kinda, sorta, but not really. MC Figures, welcome to stream. Sup, bro? Do you collect NECA figures? Okay, so officially, no. Like, do I collect NECA figures the way I collect McFarlane? No. Or even Mafex for that matter. No. But I can personally guarantee I will complete the entire, and I bumped the table here, sorry. I will be completing that Gargoyles collection. Those gargoyles, NECA figures? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I will be getting those. And ever so often, you know, they do some banger stuff with the horror properties. Ever so often, I see their Michael Myers stuff, and I'm like, do I want a Michael Myers NECA? It kind of looks cool. I don't know. But the gargoyle stuff is for damn sure. I already have, it's in the other room. But I have Goliath and I have Bronx. At one point I had Demona. But I literally bought her back in what year was it? 2021? Yeah, I think it was in 2021. I bought her in 2021. The week I got fired from Best Buy, and a couple weeks went by, and money started to deplete with bills that were due, and I needed to eat, and I was like, I gotta return this Demona, and so I returned Demona. So at one point I had Demona. I will eventually buy her back, but priority-wise, I will say I would rather get the rest of the clan, the main clan, so Hudson, Brooklyn, Broadway, Lexington. And then get Demona, Angela, and then get the human characters, Xanatos, Elisa, and then most definitely Xanatos in his Iron Man Gargoyles armor. That would be sick. So I'm definitely getting those. I'm pretty much gonna get all of them. I think the only three I'm not going to get are going to be Thalog, because it's just a repainted Goliath with the inverse colors. That's literally what the character is all about. Um, the video game Goliath from the SNES game, the one with the cel shaded look, because it's kind of a gimmicky figure, and the Steel Clan armor suit. That's not the Xanatos red one. That's the standard gray one, because I'm like, it's just if I get one, I need to get like three to make it look like an actual clan. You know, it's an army builder. I'm like, if I get one, I need to get like two more. It's gonna flood in this vice. So I'm like, I might as well not get any. Please, just don't get any. I think McFarlane should make a variety of characters instead of Batman, Flash, and Superman. Uh, yeah, Lego. It's another Call of Duty situation where a lot of people who are very passionate about video games feel, especially after this new one, people who like video games and actually appreciate good video games can look at the new Call of Duty and be like, yeah, it's time for Call of Duty to take a break. But the higher ups are not paying attention to us. They're paying attention to the numbers. How many units were sold? Sold more units? Okay, we don't give a shit about those complaints. We're gonna keep making Call of Duty every year. So let's wait and see how those numbers do. If they actually flop, then okay, we'll get a break from Call of Duty. But if those numbers don't flop, which I predict they're not gonna flop, guess what? See you next year for those people who get the next Call of Duty. Unfortunately, as much as I like McFarlane, they operate in a similar way where there's so many obscure characters we would love to see more figures of, but they don't sell. And as sad as it is, some of those characters are in fact the female characters we would love to see get more recognition for that aren't tied to some kind of gimmick. Speaking of which, tomorrow morning, I don't know how many of you are going to be there, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, the Batman and Robin Build-A-Figure wave is dropping for pre-order. I will be waking up at that time to put in my pre-order. See you, Bland Boy. Have a good night. Have a good night, Bland Boy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the conversation. I appreciate you. Pre-orders are dropping for that wave tomorrow, and I will be pre-ordering through McFarlane Toys, so I can get it first, so I can get it as soon as possible, so I can cover it on the channel. That correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like the first Poison Ivy we're getting in either ever or in a really long time. I think there was only one other like animated Poison Ivy or like a comic Poison Ivy that we got like back in 2020 or 2021. And that's it. And the reason for that is because they don't sell. They don't sell. As much as we would like to have much better looking Poison Ivies, and for me personally, much better comic accurate Wonder Woman, because I really would love a comic accurate Wonder Woman, which we're technically about to get, even though I will admit it's a little sussy sus that she doesn't look as great as she did in that 3D render they showed at New York Comic Con. Because they had that official graphic, that official reveal. And as it still looks good, it doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look as great as that 3D render did back in New York Comic Con when that debuted a couple months back, or last month I think it was. I also don't really like plastic capes for characters that fly, but that's more of a preference. Yeah, like, okay, a perfect example. I actually dig this cape for Superman. I didn't think I was going to, but I like it. I don't know, it's got this feel, and the way it's sculpted, yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of it blowing in the wind and being static at the same time. Like, for some reason, there's something about the way this is posed and sculpted that looks good, either him in a very neutral standing pose. My color balancing is going crazy on the Logitech webcam I use. So he looks good. Whoa. He looks good like that. But then, if you were to kind of bend the feet a little bit, maybe bend the knee on one of them, have him looking like this, give him his little Homelander. Oh, dude, an alternate head sculpt with the red eyes would have been sick. But do that, and that cape still looks good. Look at that. This actually looks pretty good. I'm genuinely surprised by this cape. Look at that. I actually dig this cape. If they do it like this, I'm down for it. When it does a little bit too much waviness and it's sculpted that way and it's stuck that way, that's when I get irritated and I prefer to have the cloth stuff. Just keep it neutral. Alright, Collector, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. To answer your earlier question about will you be doing a YouTube short on the Deluxe Marvel Legends, Doc Ock, and the Green Goblin, not a short, full-blown reviews. Those are going to be full-blown reviews. To answer your question, Collector, before you take off, those are going to be full-blown reviews. Now, sadly, those figures don't come out until, like, January of 2024. But, yeah, those are not going to be shorts. Those are going to be full-blown reviews. I'm going to do full, long-form reviews on those guys. So many action figures, so little money. Yeah. Alright, take care, Collector. So many action figures, so little money, and it's funny because there's times where I think to myself, like, do I want to pivot to just one wave to be better with space or a specific toy line? Or do I want to go the more expensive route and just do 1/6 scale like Hot Toys, but at least the higher price can kind of dictate what I buy and be a bit more pick and choosy. So I don't have to worry about like, hey, you know, you can't just drop money on this specific thing. Like, no, you know, this thing's like $300. Don't do that. Super Zero Noel Valencia, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Long time friend and commentator of the channel. Hope I'm not late to the conversation. Love talking toys. And it's been about an hour and a half. So a decent chunk of time, but I'm still going. Earlier I was actually talking about Spider-Man 2 in terms of how I've been approaching that game and how I was planning on platinuming it, but now I'm going to take my time platinuming it or going back around to it. I'd rather play other stuff right now instead. Like, I'm going to go back to Starfield and beat that since I'm already halfway through that game. I had to drop it for Spider-Man 2. But after that, going back to my list of backlog games here, I need some water. Going into my backlog of 2023 games here. After Starfield, I definitely want to play Alan Wake 2. I was this close to buying it and playing it on Halloween night. But my girlfriend ended up being available because she said that she had plans. But the night before, she let me know, thankfully, right on time, she let me know that she didn't have plans anymore. So she wanted to hang out. We ended up watching Saw and eating Halloween candy. So that was actually a pretty quaint Halloween night. And since I was going to be spending Halloween night with her, I was like, you know what? All right, let me not pull the trigger on Alan Wake 2 yet and actually get to finishing the finale for Spider-Man 2 that next Tuesday night. That next Tuesday. So I have yet to get back to Alan Wake 2. I want to play Alan Wake 2. Oxenfree 2, which I recently bought because it was on sale on the Switch. So I want to play that because I really love the first game. On PS Extra and on Game Pass, there's a game called Sea of Stars that's on those services that I really want to play because I've been hearing good things about it. And then Baldur's Gate 3, which is one of the heavy hitters of the year. But I don't want to play that until the endish time of November because it's around that time that I'll get paid a little bit more from my full-time job and I might finally feel a little comfortable. It's Lego Spidey plans. So sadly, Lego Spidey, my girlfriend is in exactly the same situation as my girlfriend. I mean, not as my girlfriend, as me. My girlfriend is in the exact same situation as me, aka she lives with her parents as well. So why do you think I really needed to go on the San Diego trip last weekend? This past weekend, we needed to go to San Diego. Demon time. That was stained on some. I'm trying to grow out this mustache. But yeah. So we really did just chill that night. Um, but yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I definitely want to play before the year end of the year, but I want to wait until we get closer to Black Friday because A, I'll get paid more. That'll be after a couple of more checks so that things can be a bit more liquid as far as finances, bills are paid and things are balanced out. But more importantly, as we get closer to Black Friday time, I want to see if Steam does a Black Friday sale on the Steam Deck. Because I kind of want to get myself a Steam Deck. At least another one. I bought one and then things started to get a little tight with money, so I ended up selling it to one of my best friends who now has it. And I know that technically he can let me borrow it if I ever wanted to test things out. But I want to buy my own. I want to have my own personal Steam Deck. It's funny because since even now I still want my own Steam Deck, but it's a little difficult to still stick with Steam Deck. And now hearing that there's so many options with the Lenovo Legion Go, the Asus Ally, it's like, okay, now I have to do my research to see which one's probably going to be the best one for me. But the reason for why I'm looking at a Steam Deck is because with Baldur's Gate 3, I want to be able to play it on my new gaming rig that I am using to stream this right now. So that when I'm home, I'm able to play it out at its fullest resolution and fullest capacity and frame rate on this rig. And then when I'm out and about, I'm away from home, I'm waiting for traffic to die down when I go to the studio to shoot for my full-time job. And I'm waiting for time to, and I'm like out and about and I want to play something, pull out the Steam Deck, sink some more time into Baldur's Gate 3. And this will be my first time testing this functionality out to be able to play a Steam game here on my computer and then take it with me on the go on the Steam Deck. I mean, that's one of the purposes behind the Steam Deck as a whole. So, yeah, that's something that I definitely want to do with Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 seems like the optimum game to be able to do it like that. So, yeah. Oh, and if there's any kind of time, and then after all that, after Alan Wake 2, after Baldur's Gate 3, after Oxenfree 2, after Sea of Stars, maybe we'll get into this. But I severely doubt it since we have less than 2 months left before the end of the year. Maybe we'll get to this stupid thing. And here's the thing. I know everyone's throwing around Game of the Year with this guy, but they're also throwing Game of the Year around with Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2. And from certain people, Spider-Man 2. Which I guess is also another perfect way to segue to your question, Super Zero. Do you think Spider-Man 2 is a get it now or would wait till it's a price drop game? I would say get it now. Yes. It is. I would categorize it as get it now. It is a quality $70 game. Whether or not you prefer it versus the 2018, that's going to be dependent on you. For me, it's difficult because earlier in the stream, I was saying that the gameplay is incredibly superior to 2018 Spider-Man and Miles Morales from 2020. The gameplay is extraordinarily better. Story is about the same with 2018 because it has some really badass stuff with the symbiote, some crazy moments with Venom, and Peter and Miles is dynamic. But then it has some lows like Kraven. I gotta be honest, Kraven I don't think was all that hot. I think Kraven was kind of in the game, to be quite honest. I don't know if I'm in the minority with that, but Kraven is just kind of there. Spoilers for my essay once I get to fully writing it. But Kraven gets kind of lost in the shift, I feel. He's more of an anchor to getting Peter to be aggressive once he gets the suit, the symbiote suit. Ms. Boosehound, I love your name, by the way. Thank you. Welcome to stream. I'm going with the Ally myself. It's amazing that we can have our own on-the-go system. I'm gonna have to keep watching reviews because the Lenovo Legion Go has that awesome mouse thing that you can do with and it has the controllers that separate a la the Joy-Con, like Nintendo Switch. But I also hear that there's some software problems or some software that's a little cumbersome. That right now, a system that just works right out of the box, especially with integration with Steam as a storefront, is obviously the Steam Deck. Baldur's Gate is a fun series. It's great to see them make a new game. But what I hear is that one of the great things about Baldur's Gate 3 is that you can just jump right into it. You don't really have to play the other two games, even though it's technically the third game in the series. Great to hear. I dig Spider-Man 1. I have yet to play Miles' game. Yeah, similar to Miles, there's a recap that you can play, but at the same time, I still feel like you need pick up Miles. It's funny because on the one hand, I want to say you can jump into Spider-Man 2 without playing Miles, but there's just it's the equivalent of watching Better Call Saul before Breaking Bad. To this day, even though Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad, I still tell people that they should watch Breaking Bad first and then go back and watch Better Call Saul, because it's going to add so much. Even though chronologically Better Call Saul happens before Breaking Bad, there's still so much flavor you get from Better Call Saul if you were to watch Breaking Bad first. Hey, Mr. Spider David, can you do the face that you did in the McFarlane vs. Marvel Legends video? No. But yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not prioritizing Tears of the Kingdom as high as those other games. Because... especially Baldur's Gate 3. Because, let's face it. When it comes to these megalodons of video games that take like dozens of hours, like 60, 70 hours to beat, it's the toss-up is going to be between Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3. A lot of people are saying that those are going to be the two games for sure that have like a good 50-50 chance of winning Game of the Year at the Video Game Awards. What gives Baldur's Gate 3 a slight edge at possibly winning Game of the Year and being better prioritized for me to play first before I play this is the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 feels kind of like a fresh new, even though it's the third game in the series, because of the innovations with CG and animations and the production work behind it. It feels like a fresh new game, fresh top-down asymmetric ARPG. Tears of the Kingdom, no matter how great quality it is and how many people loved it, even the people who loved this game, to an extent, to varying degrees, say that it is kind of just expanding on what was already there in Breath of the Wild. Some would even go as far as to calling it Breath of the Wild DLC. And I know that's sacrilege for some people, but it's the like some people will prefer people who even still love this game would still prefer Breath of the Wild over this one. And I think that might give Baldur's Gate 3 the advantage of getting Game of the Year, and why I prefer to play Baldur's Gate 3 first before I play this, because I did play Breath of the Wild, and I'm in the minority of people who thought Breath of the Wild was okay. I liked it. I liked Breath of the Wild. I didn't love it. If I was to play that game in 2017, OMG, my husband gagged when I showed him some of your YouTube shorts. You were so funny. Thank you, Ms. Busan. Check on your husband. Make sure he's okay. Your Catwoman short with the whip always gets us. It's the reason for why she's got that whip. So it reminds me, I gotta record some more shorts. I'll definitely check Miles' game as well as now. I was gonna skip it, but definitely check it out now. And perfect timing, because I think right now, I don't know about right now. Let me check right now. I could have sworn I saw somewhere that it was on sale. $35 at GameStop. I keep forgetting they also dropped it on Steam. It is actively on PC. Where's the PlayStation Store? 32 on... Wait, how much was it on GameStop? 32. Okay, 35 GameStop, 32 on Amazon. PlayStation Store. I could have sworn the PlayStation Store had it on sale. No, normal price $50. So if you want to save almost $20, Amazon. Let me confirm that. Really? Never mind. 42. I thought I said 35. I mean, now 32. So GameStop? Never mind. Go back to GameStop. What the hell, Google? Okay, yeah. GameStop 35. 33 if you are a pro member. Link to the Past still holds up. I never played Link to the Past. I never even finished the original Legend of Zelda. I'm scared that I might be too far gone with those games. Like, I'll try playing those classic, you know, the original Super Mario Brothers, the original Legend of Zelda, and my tolerance just won't be the same. But yeah, Super Zero, Miles is on PC. So if you're a PC player, yeah, both of the games are on PC. And I'm pretty certain Spider-Man 2 will be on PC. You're probably just going to have to wait until 2025. Yeah, so last weekend I was in San Diego, and that's one of the things that, like I said, created such a pushback on my desire to want to platinum Spider-Man 2 immediately. I will want to do it before year's end, but like I said, I'm trying to go back to Starfield. I'm trying to get through this other backlog of Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Oxenfree 2, Sea of Stars, and then finally Tears of the Kingdom. other games that were in my backlog, but after hearing about what some people have said, I was like, eh. I eventually do want to play these games at some point, eventually, but they're not needed to play by the end of the year. Is Final Fantasy 16 and Dead Island 2, and that's it. That's it for the year. But the reason for why that pushed my desire to want to play, those games, Spider-Man 2, is because I almost hit my laptop. Last Friday, or this past Friday / Saturday, me and the girlfriend went to San Diego, and we went to go watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse live in concert. So basically, up on that screen, they would project the movie, and down at the bottom, you would have a live orchestra playing the score of the movie. And this was a trip that we had planned ever since August earlier this year, in August of this year. So 3 years, 3 months. I'm starting to get tired. I'm starting to get woozy. 3 months in the making, and that for sure needed to happen this weekend. We needed to get this done. I almost kind of flubbed it because I thought it was Friday the 3rd instead of the 4th, but thankfully we got both days off. So I was like, we got both days off, but this meant that we couldn't just go back to like a hotel Friday night. The show was on Saturday. So Friday night, we spent it in San Diego. We went to a restaurant, chilled, spent the night in a hotel. And it was Saturday that we went to go see the show. But sadly, she has to work the next morning. She has to open at work the next morning. So you know what that means? This guy had to book it after the show was over, which thankfully was around like 10 o'clock at night, so it wasn't like terribly late. And thankfully there was not that much traffic. It was still a doable drive, but it was still 2.5 hours of driving straight nonetheless from San Diego to where we live here. So I had to book it immediately. So there was no rest for the wicked. I had to book it immediately that night. And but still it ended up being an experience. So that ended up happening. So that's a photo I was able to take of the venue. I don't know if I have more shots. This is the outside of the venue. Kind of like the exterior of the place, which was called the San Diego Civic Theater or Civic Center. I saw some places call it the Civic Theater and other places calling it the Civic Center. I don't know. But yeah, this is the venue right outside. Security right here. I guess I took 2 shots of this. A billboard that I needed to take a shot of. San Diego Civic Theater. Okay, it's the theater. The San Diego Civic Theater. Broadway, San Diego welcomes Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse live in concert. And then some quick shots to demonstrate the power of the night mode on my Samsung S23. Showing the buildings there on the side. Yeah, that's another one right there. Our breakfast earlier that Saturday morning. Which was really, really good. So basically, it's funny because every time that we get breakfast or some kind of meal, we end up always sharing. We always end up getting like what is typically all right, Lego Spidey, take care. We always end up getting like a bunch of 2 different things that generally would be one for one person, but we always end up getting kind of full, so we end up splitting everything. So what you just saw right now, real quick, actually let me get back to the image. Here we go. Basically, at the top is that dish that always has like the secondary stuff, so the scrambled eggs that were really well cooked, the 3 strips of bacon, a hash brown patty, I guess you could call it, the English muffin tops with jelly, my coffee, which was a oat milk latte, which was banging. But then at the bottom here we have what this place called a pancake flight. Pancake flight is basically 3 mini pancakes, each one with a different flavor, as opposed to just giving you 3 big pancakes of just one flavor. They give you 3 small pancakes to kind of sample them. It's almost like a sampler. which was definitely the right way to go because we already started getting full off of just this right here. So thankfully we didn't get like the full stack of pancakes. Basically, the middle pancake was a standard buttermilk pancake, which tasted pretty good. This is a blueberry Danish style pancake with crumbs on it, breadcrumbs kind of topping. Also pretty good, pretty fruity. You know, it kind of gives it that tangy flavor with the blueberries. Well, that berry flavor. Then on the left was their specialty pancake for the week, which was a chocolate and peanut butter flavored pancake. That was good, but amongst the three, I preferred these two, funny enough, over this one because this one was just a little too sweet. It tasted a little too like a dessert pancake rather than just a breakfasty pancake. And because of that, I was like, I like it, but if I'm gonna start getting full and prioritize eating the other pancakes before I start getting full off the side stuff here, it was these two: the standard buttermilk and then the fruitier blueberry Danish. So yeah, that was strange. That was strange that ended up being the case. But yeah, going back to these pictures right here of the venue, more of the venue, a panorama of the entire interior right here, if you guys can actually properly see that. Right about right there. Side right here with better lighting. That way you can kind of see like the acoustics of the balcony and all that stuff, and the way that everything just kind of reverts as far as sound. Sound was pretty good, even though this is gonna happen as a default, but it's something that's always gonna happen whenever you watch these like movies with live orchestra type thing, is that they cut out the score, right? Obviously, so that they can have the score be played by a live orchestra there inside of the building. But by default, that means that there's no mixing, which means that sometimes you're gonna have moments where the orchestra is playing the music at a specific volume that you really can't mess with. And as such, it's going to drown out some of the dialogue from time to time. So there'll be characters talking while the score's being conducted live in front of you. So no matter how good the acoustics are, that's always going to happen a little bit. And then I wanted to take a picture here of my attire. I wore my Enter the Spider shirt, which is basically a Enter the Dragon style poster, but it has the Spider-Verse characters on it. So you have Miles right there in the middle, Peter, Spider-Ham, and then on the sides, you can't really see because they're crumpling, but you have Penny, Gwen there at the top, Spider-Man Noir, and down at the bottom, you could barely see him, Kingpin. And then over here, I wanted a shot of the screen there on the background at the top, but then the foreground are my Adidas, Miles, my goddamn Adidas shoes, but also my spider socks. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that that was all in the same frame right there. And then me and the girlfriend taking different shots. I don't know. I don't know why I made that face, but yeah, that's. I can't smile. I can do kind of like a smolder. But I can't smile. At least not for photos. I can smile naturally, obviously, if like something naturally makes me laugh, if something naturally makes me smile, and it causes that reaction out of me. But in terms of like a hey, we're taking a picture. See, something happens on the rims. I don't know. I just can't do it. So I ended up doing this, whatever this is. Couple of screenshots when the show was about to start. They started by playing the trailer for Across the Spider-Verse. So yeah, some people were bewildered by the fact that they weren't doing Across the Spider-Verse. They were doing Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but it takes a while for orchestra members to actually learn how to play certain beats for a score. Like that's just gonna happen. So it's probably gonna be a while before that same orchestra, that same group, learns how to actually go on the beat for the score of Across the Spider-Verse. So I grew up playing NES, SNES games like Mega Man and Mario, so I became very tolerant. I can understand you though. Yeah. Like I grew up secondhand, but in terms of like games that are now officially classic nostalgic games, but I know for a fact I can beat over and over, and I'm like, yes, I got you, and 64. Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, F-Zero X. Those are games that I know for a fact I can sink an awful lot of time into. Okay. Oh, look at that, my data. Was there anything? There wasn't anything. Nah. Well, I mean, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, nah, that was nothing. I didn't have it on the stream. Holy shit! Thank God I didn't have it on the stream settings. That way, the key and the server stuff wasn't on screen. It was just on the analytics. Can't really. And the chat, which obviously you guys can see. And concurrent viewers, title, category. Okay, yeah. Like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Got this shot right here. And then, in my opinion, not that one. In my opinion, this is my favorite shot. Because this was at the end of the movie where they were crescendoing with like the big finish. And you get the title screen that finally says Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And you can actually see the orchestra down at the bottom along with this DJ. I can't remember his name. But the DJ, he was providing the, you know, the DJ sounds, the electronic sounds. And you have all of them right here playing. And it's a perfect composition. I love this shot. I really, really love it. Yeah. And that's really about it for what the shots I was able to take this past weekend. But yeah, that's pretty much what we did. All right, well, it looks like we hit the 2-hour mark and people are naturally leaving. I say naturally because it is still a work night. It is still a school night. It is Tuesday night. So I think I'm going to call it there as well. And I'm already losing my voice. I'm not used to streaming, period. So that by that vocation, obviously my voice is starting to go a little bit. I'm going to give it a little rest before I decide to record anything, if I do record anything tonight. And also because other people are also dipping as well because it's time for work, it's time for school. So I figure, you know what, I'll go ahead and leave it be. On that note, I also I honest to God don't know when I'm gonna do one of these again. I will probably post a community poll. I don't know about tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow, either tomorrow or Thursday. About what I'm gonna do with those Let's Plays of Spider-Man 2. I don't know. I haven't even started editing them proper because I'm also trying to get this week's video done, which is a comparison video between a specific Mayfix and a specific figure arts. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm trying to get that done. I think after the stream and after my shower, I'm going to write the shorts for both of these. And if my voice is up for it, maybe I'll record the shorts, the audio, that, you know, to take advantage of being home alone so that I don't have any interruptions. What else can I do? I don't know, but look forward to quite a bit of content here in the next week because there's a very good chance that the shorts for these two guys are going to go up in the next few days. A community poll asking people what to do about the Spider-Man 2 Let's Plays is going to go up, so be sure to vote on that with how you feel about that content. I'll probably post those photos from that trip just to kind of show them. And that'll probably about do it. And then hopefully by either Saturday or Sunday, it's looking like Sunday, but I'm going to try to aim for Saturday, I will post my next major full-length video, which is going to be a comparison again between a particular Mayfix and Figure Arts figure of the same character, of the same brooding character. Otherwise, guys, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Whether you're here and you dipped or taking a break or you're still here. Super Zero, Noel Valencia, Miss Boosehound, Lego Spidey, World Biggest Geek, The Movie Score are awesome. how the people play the instruments to connect with the movie scenes and watching it live is the best because you can watch the movie and listen to it. And it's a movie you've already seen, so you don't have to necessarily worry about the dialogue getting drawn out, even though it was a nitpick of mine. It's not a major complaint because I've already seen the movie like 3 times, so I already know what they say. Definitely not not the as cool as it is to see a live orchestra do it, definitely not the best way to experience the movie for the first time. If you're gonna experience the movie for the first time, watch it at home with the natural, mixed soundtrack or in the theater like it's supposed to. Then go see it with a live orchestra. But anyways, World Biggest Geek, Miss Boosehound, Super Zero, no. Lego Spidey, who else was here? The Collector, MC Figures, Christopher Flores, Bland Boy, Druv Bardwaj, I hope I'm not butchering your name, Abraham, DM, Christian Carpenter, Quantum Surge. Who else was here? Planetary, DTS Dimensions. And I think that really about does it for tonight. Like I said, this was kind of an impromptu stream. I didn't have it like full on scheduled, full on this, and that. This was just a, hey, parents are out. Let me take advantage of having the house to myself. I have the setup already ready to go. I might as well, talk about Spider-Man 2, talk about some McFarlane stuff, plans for the channel, what I've been doing lately, and just shoot the shit with you guys. So whether or not I'm going to do this again, I don't know. I'll try to keep you guys posted as best as possible, but trust me, the desire internally is still there to want to do a stream like once or twice a week, but the logistics outside of my control is really what stopped me. But I'm hoping to change that at some point in the future. In the meantime, though, we're sticking with video content, pre-edited content, shorts, long form, and the like. So stay tuned for that. And as always, stay humble. I'll see you guys later. Peace and have a good night.